p.m. here in Munster, Germany. It's 11 a.m. on the east coast of the States, I believe. I think it's 8 a.m. on the west coast. So hello, everybody. Welcome to Gordon Bennett TV. I'm your host, Regan Tetlow. This is Sam Parks. How we all doing, everybody? 44 hours ago, they launched into the sky. They've been traveling all the time since then. Let's have a look at the current leaderboard. Fifth place, Belgium 2, 1,529. USA 1 in fourth, 1,537. Third place right now, Netherlands, 1,547. Second place, Spain, 1,567. USA 3, currently in the lead, 1,580. 7 have landed, Sam. 14 are still flying.
It's been an incredible race so far. 24 hours ago, you and I were standing here and we were looking at where they were in France, and now here they are in Spain, and they're heading to Portugal. It's going to be quite the finish for this fantastic race.
It is indeed. We've got lots of stuff to show you. Let's have a look at some of the videos we've got. First of all, a bit of a chat with Lithuania and their flight and landing.
Good morning. This is Lithuania 1, currently getting quite toasty under the sun. What were your impressions from the night? Actually, my impressions, it wasn't that cold from all the clothing. It was not as bad as in Germany. And now it's getting quite toasty, and we're really going up.
My main impression is not enough sleep.
Yeah, it was really hard. We were both just nodding off for 30 minutes at a time. But anyways, let me show you the view. It's quite amazing here. Just about to start crossing the Pirin mountains. And we haven't had breakfast yet, but that's not very inviting when this view is your breakfast. Hello, Dan from Team Lithuania here. As you can see, it's quite windy. So a little bit about our landing spot. Our landing started somewhere over there, and we've arrived quite precisely to the very limit over here. But yeah, it was a sporty landing. We had about 40 kilometers an hour. It's gusting probably to about 60 right now. What were your impressions? I did not even get a chance to think. The only thing I thought about was I have to take out the transponder antenna, otherwise we will rip it off. That's my only thought before the landing. There was no time to prepare for it mentally at all.
Yeah, it was really quick. Quick decision and quick performance.
Yeah, quick decision, quick performance.
I guess it's gusting 15 meters per second. 40 knots. Because during the landing it was 25 knots. Maybe 30. So it's maybe up.
But as you can see, everything's fine. It was rather soft, and we're quite happy to be on the ground. Our team should be here in about 30 minutes, and we're going to go celebrate the best flight that Lithuania has been able to do so far.
So far in Lithuanian history,
Yeah.
not only 100, 200 or 1,000 years. It has never been done before. So
cheers to that.
What an adventure, Sam. Father and son together.
You know, it was really quite impressive. They were at the podium, the launch 45 hours ago, and they were so excited to enter this race. And you can see the excitement is still there in the landing phase, which they said was a bit sporty.
Yeah.
So close to 40 kilometers an hour when they came in for a landing, and it looked like that everything was safe. And of course they were talking about getting the transponder antenna in before they ripped it off. But yes, they did a fantastic race, and I'm so happy for them both.
Anybody watching who's not sure where Lithuania is, it's right up there. Look, this is Lithuania. And this is where they are now. So quite a bit of a travel for those guys from home
They've got to see quite a bit of the Western Europe here that is quite a ways from their home now. So that was quite the adventure that they had.
It was indeed. We've also got some content through from the landing of USA 2. Let's have a look at that.
Our flight was fantastic. Saw a beautiful countryside in France during the day yesterday. Didn't like going over the Pyrenees at night, but that's what happened. And then Madrid grew up in front of us.
Bit us in the ass.
Yeah, unfortunately.
How was your landing, though?
Very, very fast, but very good. Did a wonderful landing. I don't think you'll see a drag mark to the basket at all.
Well, we're glad you're back safe. I'm glad you had a good Gordon Bennett.
Thank you. We're happy we are too.
Pretty windy landings for everybody. Not much audio to be had, but great to see them.
No, you can actually hear the wind just rustling by. There are microphones on the video equipment. And even though the two teams landed a considerable different distance apart, they basically had the same kind of landing conditions because they were in that trough of wind right coming from northeast to southwest there in Spain.
Incredible stuff. We've not caught up with last year's winners yet, Eric Decellier and Benoit Harvey and France too. Let's see what they've got to say.
Hello everyone.
Hello from France too, on second day afternoon, 3 p.m. The weather is perfectly good here. We are just above Spain since about 1 hour in the region of Bilbao. It's a fantastic landscape, especially coming from the ocean. So, are you in good mood?
Yeah.
And see you next time, because we are still planning to fly quite a lot, like all the others. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We were looking to try and get a live call with France too, but where their altitude they're at, we didn't really have much of a good signal, so it's great to get the videos.
It is.
Back to the wall here.
Yes, you can see that all the teams actually either crossed over the Pyrenees Mountains here, and it was in the kind of the western edge where it wasn't quite so high. And now they're really all on a race down to the sea. But some of them actually went out over the Biscay Bay even before they entered into Spain. They left France, went out over the ocean, and now those in a group that's really on the western edge here of the entire pack they're all going for this corner down here that gives them the greatest distance. So you see a couple of different strategies, but ultimately they are winding up all in the same kind of highway of air going down to the southwest corner of Portugal.
The description of what's going on is relatively simple. It's a bunch of competitors, gas balloons, all take off from the same place, and the one that gets the furthest away with a stationary stop from that start is the winner. But there's a lot more, it's more complicated than that. The endurance, the fatigue, Sam, to be traveling night after night like this.
Yes, the ticker here now shows 45 hours, and they've gone through a couple of different sunsets, a couple of different sunrises. It'll be interesting to see how many of them choose to go into yet a third night. But some of the teams have already mentioned some of the sleeplessness that they're experiencing, trying to take naps where they can. Yeah. And one of the things that kind of added to that fatigue today is the fact that they didn't really have any cloud cover. So they were looking for some shade any way that you can get it into the basket, because they've been in some clean air, cloudless skies for most of the race.
That's a lot of heat, a lot of sun. The actual record in flight is just over 92 hours, isn't it? It's an incredible amount.
It is. And that's not going to be touched this year, I don't think, because of the speeds that they're encountering. They're going to be able to run out of space here before that time period.
We caught up with Austria too as well. Let's check in with them. Just a little video we've got here. There's no actual audio from them. Just a look around the basket, Sam, here from Austria too.
Well, there's a lot of electronics there. And as we mentioned in the show yesterday, electronics and the technology has really increased what the pilots can have on board. But now look out over that sea. That's a beautiful scene right there. But you also saw some of the canopy that they're trying to put over the basket so they can shield themselves from all that UV light that enters into the basket. So you want to try to stay as cool as you can, because the further south you go into Spain, the warmer it's going to be as well.
We're going to take a little break and check in with our sponsors, and we'll be back very shortly.
It is not the hours, minutes, or seconds that define us, but generations. The watch collection from the Tutemer family. Discover more at tutemer.com.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to check in with social media with producer Mark and Florian to see some of the questions that you're asking. What do you want to know, guys?
Yeah, I would say one of the first questions actually for Sam, because George writes here, it looks like they're heading towards Albuquerque, Spain.
Albuquerque, Spain? Now that would be quite unique. The race in 2023 to the race in 2024. that would be really special.
There's a few comments just on the Lithuanian comment on it looked really windy. And then there is Gareth Rock from the UK asks, into Spain and where next?
Well, once they go through Spain, they're going to go to Portugal because if we pull the map back up here, Portugal is on the western edge right here. So they're going to be going out of Spain airspace into Portugal. You can see the largest city in Portugal is Lisbon, but really where they want to go, the greatest distance will be right down here at this southwest corner of the country of Portugal.
I know Dawn was asking a little bit earlier from the United States Balloon Federation. She was asking about female pilots. If this race has got the most female pilots of a Gordon Bennett, I suppose we'd have to look into that, right?
We would, but we, as you know, we had an all-female crew.
Yeah.
Great Britain, and of course Peter and Barbara just landed, and of course Sherry and Mark are still flying. But we have several teams that have female P1s or P2s, and it's an extraordinary opportunity for these men and women to actually compete against each other.
Anything else on the questions right now, guys? You know, the headquarters are very important, playing a big role in keeping the teams where they need to be and keeping them informed. And one of the most famous headquarters, I suppose, is Gladbach in Germany, the home of, well, for sure, the mecca of gas ballooning. And we caught up with the team at Gladbach a little bit earlier today. Let's check it out. So this is a place I've been wanting to visit for quite a few years. We're here at Gladbach. It is quite arguably the mecca of gas ballooning in the world, right?
I would say so, definitely. It was built up in 2006 by volunteers from our German Balloon Federation, from the local ballooning federation, and since then many pilots have took off from here. They are coming here for many flights per year. The French national team has training weeks here, and many pilots got their first flight here in a gas balloon.
There's a good story about this location, how it was found. Tell me that.
Yeah, when another launch field got closed, Willy Eimers had a map of the hydrogen pipeline, and he literally walked the pipeline and was searching for a grass field where we could build up an airport. And that's where we are right now.
So where is the pipeline? Is it that thing behind me right there?
Yeah, that is the pipeline is 200 meters behind it, and then we built a new small pipe just to the field here. But when you came here, you crossed the train tracks, and at the train tracks there's a pipeline.
And why is the pipeline here to begin with? What's the story behind that?
Yeah, that's for chemical reasons. Here in Gladbach we have a factory which produces hydrogen, and the hydrogen pipeline is then going straight to Düsseldorf for Persil. And we use this pipeline.
So right now, the headquarters, tell me which teams you're managing.
All German teams and Austria too.
Great. Should we have a look inside?
You may have.
So we are inside. Tell me, what, outside of the competition, this is a clubhouse for two clubs?
For two clubs. They're using this as their Vereinsheim, like we call it in Germany. And here we have our meetings.
What are the clubs? Which clubs are they?
It's the Niederrheinische Verein für Luftschifffahrt and Ballonfahrtverein Essen.
Don't ask me to repeat that. But look at this. Look at this bar here. This is amazing. Talk me through this a little bit, Mike.
Yeah, it's an old basket from a gas balloon, which is in unairworthy conditions right now because we cut some parts out. And now it's, when we are not here for the Gordon Bennett, it's a bar, and we have some champagne in there, and yeah.
Awesome. And right now, this is the command center, like you said, for the German teams and for Austria too, and all the guys here are doing their thing.
Exactly. Normally, this is a clubhouse, but right now we converted it into a small office for us. because we have infrastructure here just beside internet. That's why we're using Starlink as well here. And with Starlink, everything is going right.
And who've we got to give us a name check around the room?
We got Anja, Pascal, Dirk, Moritz, Kolja, Antje, who's outside. We have Katharina, Peter, and another Max.
Is it 2 shifts or 3 shifts? How does how does it work? The work?
Yeah, we are 2 teams, and we have 6-hour shifts and 30 minutes to give an update and to change, and
Mike, so we have all the different stations behind us. Do they all have their own separate piece of work that's being done?
Kind of. So we are building strategies for the teams, and someone else is to verify that it works, to verify with other models, weather models. Then we have some stations for the ATC checks, the NOTAMs, and so there are different topics, and everyone has his own responsibility.
Is everybody doing a good job?
Yes, hopefully. Until now, it's okay. So we are happy.
Amazing. And some great images around the wall as well. Gordon Bennett from 1922.
It is, in Geneva, it's in 1922. Then we have the next image from Gordon Bennett 2016, which took place here on this side. And those are the old Gordon Bennett posters from older races. I think it's 1999,
It doesn't look big enough outside to get that picture there. Is that actually the field right there?
It's the field just behind us, but you see there are some muddy acres behind it, and that was also turned into grass, and we used the whole area.
Fantastic. And how's it going? Everything under control?
Of course.
You happy with the race?
Of course we are.
Everybody's where they should be?
Of course.
Anybody where they shouldn't be?
Maybe.
So you're happy and confident as we move forward?
Of course we are. I think we just got the clearance from Morocco, so
Right. Yeah, it's hard to get in. We're getting some good little smiles there, which psychology will tell you everything is as it should be. Are you recovered after the registration period? You were in that office doing the tags and everything it was a long shift.
Yeah, it was the second time I had to learn that you can't organize a Gordon Bennett and be in a Gordon Bennett team. That doesn't work. The first, I think, 7 hours I slept straight, but now I'm in a condition to support the team.
Well, we're not going to go upstairs because it's private. But what is upstairs?
We have 13 beds upstairs.
13?
Yeah, exactly. We have 13 beds. You can't imagine. We can show you in the background behind the camera. We can show you how it looks upstairs. But right now, because of 13 beds, it's really a bit messy when you have 13 people in here.
Sounds like summer camp for gas balloonists.
Yes, exactly.
Thanks very much, Mike.
You're welcome.
A great little road trip for the Gordon Bennett TV team out to there and back. Great time, Sam.
I was just talking to Regan about how busy you've been today. An hour down to do the video and then an hour back.
Yeah.
You've had an extraordinary busy day. But I do want to make a comment about that. You just saw what the background is to support these teams. There's a command center here that we officials have going to where we can help out with ATC or any other kinds of issues that may arise. But you just saw what it actually takes to be the background support for all these individual teams. Yeah. And it really is extraordinary with the technology that they can share back and forth. And it really is, it increases safety, it increases the communications.
Yeah, it really does. We've got a few more questions coming through from social media.
We have a first question from Sailing Palina asking, back on the Lithuanian talk and claiming that this is a record, is there a list of all country records?
Each individual country is responsible to keep up with their own distance and duration records. And they would also have to apply for those records in the event that they were looking to exceed those or break those. So the Gordon Bennett, I don't think, keeps up with those individually for the countries, but the country's responsibility is still there.
We just have a quick hello from Lynn Newton. We know her all from last year from the Balloon Museum for you, Sam and Regan.
Yes.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi, Lynn. So good to hear from you.
Yeah, great to hear from you. There's a question whether the pilots are aware of wildfires in Portugal.
We did share a link with them that they can actually pull up an app to show them where the wildfires are. So yes, they are aware of that.
One question from Eli is there any chance that Africa would open up for them?
No, I don't think so. It's initially out of bounds, and typically when we start a race with the out of bounds established, it does not change.
And then we have one more question, where like whether you think that teams would fly into this night.
Ooh.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Stick around and find out.
That's the strategy that they're all planning for right now. Max and his team that you saw down in Gladbeck and all these other command centers, they're crunching the numbers on wind and weather and terrain that they've got to go over. That'll be probably something you want to talk about at your 8:30 show.
Yeah, we've got an 8:30 show, 8:30 p.m. show for you. We'll let you know a bit more about that then. Let's have a look at the wind situation on the screen there, Sam, and just see what we've got going through.
You can actually see the different colors here will indicate what the wind speeds are. The blue colors are mostly lighter color, the green, and then more of the orange and reds, they increase in winds. So you can actually see where the balloons are flying. You can see the direction. We've got wind barbs that are also associated with each one of these colors. You can see the direction that they're in. So the overlap of windy onto the competition map really indicates what the balloons are flying in and what their intent is and what their direction is. But I think you're going to see here soon that there's a trajectory change possibility. And this plays into the strategy for all the teams throughout the rest of the evening into the night for them to really decide if they're going to fly into morning tomorrow. Yeah. Because you can see that where the current pack of the balloons is located, if they change altitudes, there's one that goes over here to Porto, which is basically due west. And then there's also a track here that takes them all the way back close to Portugal, but also then back into Spain. So somewhere in between that is going to be the optimum direction that they're going to want to take to go all the way down here to the very corner of Segras.
Well, one of the teams we've not checked in with for a while is, of course, Germany 2. And we got some content from the girls in their chase team as they were passing down Santander on the area northwest in Spain. Let's check it out.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
We made it to Spain.
Yay!
We are having a little break and enjoying the warm and nice weather here.
Yeah, so if you need some more ballast, we have enough.
Have a good day.
See you. Bye bye.
You, Sam, feeling a little bit jealous of that road trip?
That looks like quite the adventure on the ground. They're down by the sea. They're having a great time, as it should be.
Yeah. Well, that's Germany 2 on the ground. Let's check in with Germany 2 in the sky, where they talk a little bit about oxygen.
Short update from Germany 2 from the skies above Spain. Magnificent landscape we're flying over, quite different to what we're used to see at home in southern Germany. Cruising at an altitude of between 10 and 11,000 feet, so we've switched to oxygen.
Yay! So yeah, we're using oxygen now because the air here is getting quite thin, and therefore we have, as you can see in the back, oxygen tanks with us and so-called mountain high systems. It's automatic oxygen systems that basically give you a pulse of oxygen every time you breathe in, and therefore it's quite efficient in what you in how much in how much oxygen you use. Hydrogen would be nice as well.
That's up there.
That is how it looks like, so that everybody knows how that works. And if one of us stops breathing or is not breathing through the nose anymore, it makes a sound or an alarm, so you realize that you're not breathing in the oxygen correct. And they're quite cool and a lot of fun and help to save weight.
They do. How long does such a bottle last?
well, it always depends on the height you are flying in. I think we had everything between 12 and 30 hours on one tank. As I said, depending on how high you are, because the higher you are, the more oxygen the automatic system is pushing into your breath.
So, goodbye from Germany too.
Look up.
Look up.
Florian, have you been hypoxic, Sam?
I've been high plenty of times in a gas balloon, as also in a hot air balloon.
Yeah.
My highest altitude is 22.5.
Uh-huh.
And yes, I've had to go on oxygen several times.
Yeah.
However, it's vitally important for these gas balloonists to have it on board. As they go up above 12,000 routinely, they need that oxygen for sure.
Yeah, I've had a few little incidents myself over the years skydiving, which I'll tell you about over a cup of coffee one day.
All right.
Been very interested indeed. So there's the Germany 2. What about, we're talking about technology with the oxygen. Also, Balthasar from Swiss 2 has been giving some great little views and technical views of what's going on in the basket. Let's check in with Swiss 2.
Okay, good morning from the basket of Switzerland 2. René, how's
Good morning.
How's the day?
Yes.
Everything okay?
Okay.
You slept well?
Oh, yeah.
A bit
2
of
hours, 3 hours
Okay.
sleep.
A bit of excitement in the morning. We had a bit of up and down, but now we are again on the rails. That is ballooning. Sometimes you have to try out something and it works or it doesn't work. Okay, guys, I want to quickly give you of an update into a subject which always come up. I have switched the camera now. I want to talk about the electrical system, because the electrical system is something very important in a long distance gas balloon, and I want to introduce you to our system. Now, what I'm showing you here is our fuel cell. You see here in the middle is the fuel cell. We have packed it into a custom-made bag, which I have sewed myself. Yeah, that's what you do on long winter evenings. And we have on the right-hand side, we have a little canister with methanol in it. That's where the methanol is being pumped out. Now, in those 2 days, we have used only about 40% of a 5-liter canister. So it's very efficient. And on the right-hand side, we have a battery, which is connected to the fuel cell and which is a buffer battery. And actually, these are 2 batteries now after we had such terrible problems in Albuquerque at the last Gordon Bennett. What you see here, in addition, is a cable which comes in from a solar panel. We have a backup solar panel, and it shows what the solar panel is providing. Don't you worry. You know, the voltage is 2.8, but the fuel cell gives us a bit more voltage, so that's why it's not showing much. What we also have hidden here in the back, it cannot really be seen, is a Bluetooth-enabled shunt, so we always know how much current is going in and is going out. The power goes then later to this distribution panel, so we have a number of USB connectors here, which are all connected together. We have 12 volts and also even 14.8 volts outlets here, which then supply the radio and obviously also all the USB instruments which we are having on board. Well, that is it. Just for a bit of an update on technology. We say goodbye and have a great day, and you hear from us again. Bye-bye.
Before the launch, Balthasar was telling me about this electrical system, and he was saying you need to get it in your motorhome. You'll never be out of power.
You know, it looks like that's kind of like a studio in there with all the connections that he had, all the technology that he's running, and to have battery reserve power for all that, that's extraordinary.
So we have a look at where some of the teams are and their altitudes right now, Sam?
We just were talking in the break at some of the teams are up already over 4,000 meters, and so they have solared up considerably, and it could actually be part of the strategy that we showed earlier with the trajectories. You do have one trajectory that goes over here all the way to Porto, and then there was one that had this fish hook that went all the way down and then came back up again into Spain. So it'll be interesting in your next show, Regan, to determine kind of where they are in relationship to this. Yeah. There's a lot of built up area here along the coast of Portugal, farmland more to the south. I would imagine that that's what their strategy would be. I can't say for sure, but I'm estimating that they're trying to get further south.
Yeah. Yeah, you certainly don't want to be coming down there and then going back on yourself and losing distance.
That's right. Yeah, you don't want to go back. And there was actually one of the tracks that we looked at earlier that had a backing to it. So
Right.
you want to avoid that.
Indeed. Right. Well, we've got another video from you from Poland too, one of the teams that landed a little bit earlier on. Let's see what they had to say.
Hello, hi. This is Gordon Bennett TV. Do you have anything interesting to say to our fans and to our followers?
Hey everyone, we are just after the landing. We collecting our stuff. We had excited flight. Long flight for us. It also always could be longer, but we are really happy. Our minimum plan is done. So landing in Spain, we landed in Lorano, in the region of Rioja. They probably have the best wine in Spain. We don't know, but we will check this soon. Our flight was really nice. We had beautiful views. We saw amazing sunrises.
Very safe landing we have.
We heard it was like catastrophe. I mean, controlled catastrophe. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
I think that every landing with balloon is more or less catastrophe. The difference is it on the 0 ground or above. Our catastrophe was a little bit above because we landed on the field that finished suddenly, and it was the result you saw on the pictures. But everything is okay, and we didn't even destroy the plant, so everything is okay.
But you look healthy, you look happy. Maybe a few words more, please, to our Gordon Bennett TV.
Yes, the landing, like Jacek said, was excited. I think it was for sure the most excited part of our flight. It was quick, but it was also safe. Like you see, we have hands, we have legs. Our equipment, it's
brain.
It's okay. Everything's fine. We wish other pilots, other teams that still flying.
Little bit safer landing. We wish them.
Yeah, and great results. I hope they will fly the whole day, the whole next night, and how long they want. And I hope they will also have safe landings. Maybe not so tough, but still safe.
As Przemek said, we realized our minimum plan. We had maximum plan, you know what is maximum plan in Gordon Bennett. Minimum for us was to fly to Spain and to cross Biscaya Bay. And we realized that we didn't expect it, that thermic condition in today was such bad, but we land safety, it is important.
Yeah, thank you everyone for watching us. Thank you organizers for the beautiful event. I hope we will see each other next year.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Great to see the guys. Just a correction on the announcement. Actually, Poland won that we had there. The 5 stars underneath the emblem, that signifies the 5 Polish wins and Gordon Bennett's in the past.
You know, if I didn't know better, I would have thought that you went from Germany to Spain to do that interview. He sounded a lot like you.
Do you think he was doing an impression of me?
I think he was.
I don't like that. Who is this with Poland won?
And imitation is the greatest form of flattery. So I think you're training some new broadcasters.
Jak se máš, Poland? Dobře. Mark, you might have another question for us.
Yes, I do. There was basically one question about how do they get authorization from a landowner before landing?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question. In a former video, actually a couple of them that we've seen today, you've seen that they were in open fields, no crops, whereas I did see a video of Poland, they were eating some grapes off of the vineyards.
Right.
And so it's difficult to get landowner permission prior to landing, because when you're going upwards of 30 kilometers an hour, it's kind of hard to hang in the air, to holler down at the landowner. But the pilots are great. They do their best to stay out of the crops and to stay in an open field where it's easily accessible. Yeah. And it also looks very dry down there, so I don't think they're having any issues with accessibility into the fields.
Anything else, Mark?
And there's one more question, is like, will they have to wait for hours to be rescued by their crews?
Well, actually, we just heard that earlier that the crew was in 30 minutes of their landing, and we've seen multiple reports of the crews being there at the time of the landings. Yeah. So the crews are doing a fabulous job getting there quickly.
They really are. They really are indeed. Well, it is 45 hours and 34 minutes, I think, since the launch of the 67th Coupe Aéronautique Gordon Bennett, the FEI World Championships of Long Distance Gas Balloon Flying. What an event. What a time we're having. Sam, thanks for joining us in the studio. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Regan, and to all the guys in the studio. Y'all do a great job.
Thank you. You can keep up with all the action and all the news on live.gordonbennett.aero, and we'll be back in around 3 hours, 8:30 tonight, for the last show of the day. See you then.